same damn fight. The dust kicks up in the copper light. Crunch down on dead red stone. Ain't seen green since I left my home. They say it's war, they say it's right, but all I see is rocks and blight. Drill runs hot, hands run cold. Trade our blood for super's gold. What's all this for? What's left to save? Bury my brothers, dig my grave. E710 burns like hellfire bright. We keep on drilling, but we lost this fight.
Evening's Freedoms, E710 entrepreneurs. That was E710 Blues by, now that's what I call a tribute. A tune dedicated to the tireless boat divers of the Eastern Front who start off their day rolling in a bed and blasting scavengers off their window streams to the bushwhacker, and ended by filling a stocker full of white phosphorus from a cookout. A rich, full day. News from the Galactic Sphere mostly revolves around those lovely green numbers that I always love to see. The initial attack on Bull Rock goes well with a good turnout. 60% of all hell-diving population is laying waste to an entire GDP's worth of bugs and keeping those fuel prices nice and low, just the way Mom likes them. And no one loves their mom like a helldiver. Progress upon the planet of Dolph proceeds at a snail's pace, with most of SEAF's manpower tied up in the TQZ, but slow and steady does win the race. Achird 3 and Choepessa 4 report some degree of losses, and that is likely to continue, especially with the DSS intent on relocating to Bull Rock sometime in the next few hours to help out the Major Order Majordomos. Now, get this, dear listeners. The Illuminate raiding fleet got ambushed hard at CC and practically got knocked out of the sky for a pretty significant loss of dark matter. Readings indicate that Varylia has dropped beneath his 65% charge and is steadily losing momentum. If you want to help out with our Squid Games and get paid to do it, the Cave Filling Corporation has a new bounty posted to the Merc Divers PMC bounty board, offering 1 super credit for every squid kill, 20 super credits for every Illuminate warp ship destroyed, and 100 super credits for every cognitive disruptor, aka brain startler, destroyed. What the CFC is intent on doing is that they have found a way to synthesize dark fluid from the bodies of voteless, the remains of cognitive disruptors, and looting it from the storage tanks of blown apart warp ships, essentially stealing it from the Illuminate Order. Now, what do they intend on doing with all of that dark fluid? Your guess is as good as mine, but I would sooner trust these chaotic edgelords corporatists over the psychotic undead hippies that desperately want to be Cthulhu. Just not by that much. Hey, don't look at me like that. The check's clear. Speaking of checks clearing, we have some new stock prices and a few new arrivals on the exchange. There is not much in the way of movement this week, with a 1% loss for the Merc Divers PMC, but a 3% increase for the Cave Filling Corporation. Gunvault took a nasty hit of 8% due to some governmental woes and a certain angel's interference, but the Tank Hunters are showing some growth at 4%. If anyone is going to do well in these times of eternal, unending war, you'd pretty much expect it to be someone named the Tank Hunters, right? Blackwall IT Solutions Incorporated is ever the wild beast, dropping another 6% since last week, and is at its lowest price on record at 167 super credits per share. Now could be an excellent time to buy in and pump that monster back up. We also have Future Foundations, Anvil Industries, and the ever-familiar Venture Company joining the board with stock prices at 214, 175, and 220 super credits respectively. With an extremely lucrative bounty on the board, it sounds like an excellent time to diversify one's portfolio. Next, we have something presented by request by a Helldiver Titan, presenting an automaton engaging in some rather unusual behavior. How is it floating like that? Where did it come from? What is it doing? Why hasn't he shot it yet? Does it still float after he's killed it? Questions we may never know the answers to. In other community-related news, Emperor Valerian has somehow survived the explosion evolution of the Mazer Ray constructed on the moon of Varylia 5 and built a new kingdom within the Arturian sector. He's not especially fond of me since I asked Dr. Z on the open airwaves to explodinate his favorite planet-annihilating toy. But hey, Val, at the very least, you're still alive to be miffed at me. Though I'm sure that some among you are already seeing the empty nature of Valerian's threats of vengeance, because really, without his Mazer array, he's just a Care Bear that stared at the sun too long, and also he has picked a region of space that is now nicely sandwiched between the Automaton Collective and the Terminated Quarantine Zone. Not to mention Super to the south, who I am sure is very interested in Valerian paying them taxes again. Is anyone else getting the feeling that this regime looks like Poland August 31st, 1939? I should start running a poll and see which faction is going to stop the Legion divers into a pancake next. That way I can invest more in the stock market. Now we move into the segment that I promised this morning. Know your foe. Tonight's topic of study is the outrageously lethal and well-armored Factory Strider, and I don't care if Arrowhead R&D says that these information sources are data mined. They're still accurate and worthy of study. Really, this information should be provided to all Helldivers by default, and I will never, ever, ever, ever shut up about it. Factory Striders share the same Citadel-style armor that the rest of the Collective use, in that their vital areas are covered with exterior armor plating, but that can be defeated through overwhelming force or precise aim. Logic would dictate to strip the chain guns off first and then hammer the head. But taking a Factory Strider head-on is often the worst way to go about killing it. My preferred way is to bust the sides in, hitting the Collector's star emblem on the side plating. One recoilless or quasar blast is sufficient to destroy the plating, exposing the delicate innards. A follow-up shot into those internals is often enough to destroy the Strider in one shot. Likewise, blowing the rear plating off will expose the delicate engine block, which has the same rules and similar durability. It should also be mentioned that exposed internals, or the engine block that I just mentioned, has an AV of 0. So, if you lack everything else, you can destroy it using small arms. Running up and giving a Factory Strider a thermite belly grub is also a good move if you can remove or dodge the chin guns so they don't turn you into shredded cheese. And if you have no other good options available, destroying the legs will, at the very least, make it so the Strider can't move with such agility to try to kill you. On convoy sub-objectives, there are anywhere from 3 to 5 of these things, and one of them has a stratagem scrambler instead of a cannon. A truly intelligent team of divers would simply scatter anti-tank mines in their path and then wait for the objective to complete itself, but coordinated anti-tank power from an ambush in an elevated position can pop several Striders before the convoy is even aware it's under attack. The last thing you want is to get into a shootout with these things. They're bigger than you, tougher than you, more well-armed than you, and they often come with buddies. So either strike from surprise, or be prepared to burn through a good chunk of your reinforcement budget trying to take them down. That's been Liberty's latest with me, Pandera the Radio Angel. We'll see where we are tomorrow, but it looks like the northern arm of the TQZ is gonna get snapped off and renewed under Democracy's light. Who would want to live on a fungal acid planet like Esther? Who knows? Who cares? We need that salt and acid for our gas weapons, and we're prepared to pay through the nose to get them. So get in there, you little Pop-Tarts, and start mining for coin and country. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for the angelic rebellion. Viva la Revolution Angelique.